Okay, Gemini, let's have a right good shuffle. All good things come to those who wait, Jojo. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Gemini's highest good. How is Gemini feeling in this third week of September 2025 with regards to one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in? 3 cards for Gemini. First of all, how was Gemini feeling? Straight out. Oh, we've got the 4 of Cups upright. Now that's been a little bit closed off to expression of emotion from others, offers of feelings from others. Now your last one was you're not obliged to do anything, block them. So we'll see if anything is continuing from that, or that's just nothing to do with this week. I think Gemini had a creeper last week. Right. Oh, that was weird. That was so weird. Did you see that? I tried to like just get the one card out and another one flipped over after I turned it back. You could feel like, or you may not be conscious of this, but you're not quite over the past, you know. And it could be that you miss someone from your past that you had a marriage or relationship with. Or it could be that it's put you off future connections. Somehow it's created a block of some sort, okay? Because we've got the 8 of Cups, which is walking away from a long-term connection. Now that's choosing to walk away. This is not wanting to walk away, okay? The Devil upright is like obsession, bad habits, infatuation, you know, overthinking, really wanting something too much, being like codependent. The Devil was reversed though, wasn't it? The Devil was reversed, and when it's reversed, that's breaking free from a bad habit, a codependent situation. Was someone in the past, I'm going back to some sort of past experience with, you know, a previous connection. It could have been codependent, or it could have been unhealthy somehow. Or you were closed off to love and you're not anymore because you're no longer trying to focus on the past. You got free from that. What else can we on? Something to do with the past. Six of Wands reversed. Six of Wands upright is victory, success, recognition, celebrated, being noticed. When it's reversed, it could be a lack of success, a lack of victory, a lack of being noticed, lack of recognition. When that's reversed, you don't want something to end. You don't want to give up on a past connection. But then with the Devil reversed, it's like you could have finally released. You could, because they're a combination, you could have finally released ties to the past. But then why have we got this? Because this, to me, that's like, it's like either self-sabotage or a desire to be, you know, recognised after healing from a past connection. There's like a desire to be recognised once again, but not by that person, not by that person. Just to be recognised by a new person. To have attention, to be celebrated. Where previously, you know, we were closed off. Now, I think previously you had someone that would be free in like a year's time, didn't you? They were going through a divorce or separation of some sort. Let's see who shows up for you today. See, the Nine of Wands, when it's upright, is the wounded warrior. It's someone who's trying to overcome challenge after challenge. They're very determined and they don't give up. And it's been going on too long. When it's reversed, they're choosing to drop the burdens. They're not continuing, they're not going to continue to fight the good fight anymore. They're going to give up, okay? They're going to surrender, submit to whatever, you know, outcome is supposed to happen. They're not going to keep trying to be stoic and like show fortitude. They're just going to drop the burden just by choice, you know, after a long struggle. No longer willing to see it through to the end. Now look. Five of Cups, Knight of Cups, and the Tower reversed. That's just pissing me off now. It really, ex-fiance is a Capricorn. That's mad, isn't it? That's madness. See, that resonates 100% for you. There's grief, sadness, loss, regret. There's an expression of emotion, and it's to do with the Tower reversed, okay? So some sort of damage that was done. They're trying to undo it. Okay, they've got major regrets and they really want to approach you to reverse a broken situation. You know, a tower, when it's upright, is like a relationship falling apart, a marriage falling apart, a work contract, you know, being broken, getting made redundant, Yeah, tower's a major change, and they're trying to stop the tower from falling because they've got major regret. And the Knight of Cups is a very romantic energy. It's, you know, it's Romeo and Juliet. Like this person doesn't want to live without you. If it's the person you're currently dealing with, it has to be you. You know, like they just cannot. They can't stay away from you. They're gonna have to pursue you. They're very in their feels, and it has to be you. Yeah, it's being in love. It's like dreamy, like it has to be you. But it's not romantic because they're devastated. It's like, you know, romantic tragedy. It is Romeo and Juliet. Oh, God. You got ghosted. Oh, my God. That's awful. That's really bad, Jojo. I'm sorry that happened. The High Priestess. The High Priestess upright is Pisces energy. It's intuitive. It's trusting the divine, having a good connection with spirit, feeling like you've got the instincts to be able to see what's coming next, intuitively. You know, like a lynx can feel every vibration. It has a strong sense of smell. They can see really well in the dark. They can see things that are hidden. This person feels like on a spiritual, whoever this is, if it's, you know, an ex or someone that you're currently dealing with or manifesting it in the future, they're really trying to go with their intuition. They've got a lot of regret about the past. They're still in love. They wish to express emotion and they wish to reverse a tower. So a major collapse of a situation. Let's get 3 for the outcome. We've got the Queen of Wands reversed. So the Queen of Wands upright is someone who's confident, solar plexus activated, they're goal orientated, highly driven, they go for what they want. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy, heavy Sagittarius energy. In a love reading, it can indicate the other man or the other woman, but it doesn't have to. It can just be someone who's very seductive, very assertive, very confident, you know, quite egoic, quite vain. When it's reversed, it's someone who's lost their libido, lost their sense of ego, lost their sense of pride, is no longer, you know, like assertive. What's the opposite of being assertive? Passive. They become passive. It could be, you know, like a weak vibe, or it could be over the top, assertive, like dominant, overly lusty. But with the other cards on that side of the spread, I would say it's the weak, you know, passive side. Because they're in grief, right? And they're all in their feels with that Knight of Cups. It's just, look how much water there is. There's so much water. You know, the fire's out, like there's so much water. They're just crying a river over here. It's like Niagara Falls. So I wouldn't view them as seductive and, you know, overly lusty, would you? Or like domineering. They're in like a very watery energy. There's no fire there. That's true. You see what you're made of and you see what they're about, don't you? See what they're made of, what they're capable of. I've been shown that by people. I've been shown what they're capable of. Capable of just dropping cold, detaching, yeah, totally flipping on you. The Magician upright. So the Magician is all for aces. It's having all the tools to succeed. That's weird, isn't it, after you saying that? In the outcome, someone feels like they've got all the tools to succeed, okay? They've got the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, meaning they've got the tenacity with the Ace of Wands, they've got the drive, the motivation, they've got the resources with the Ace of Pentacles, finances, practical situations, assets, income, opportunities for growth, qualifications. With the Ace of Swords, they've got the knowledge, the ability to communicate effectively. They've done their research. Truth and justice is on their side. With the Ace of... what am I missing? The Ace of Cups, they've got forgiveness, healing, the capacity to love unconditionally, to have self-love, to heal, to be patient. The Magician is like, I can make anything come true. I can make anything possible. I can make my dreams a reality. I can make this come back together, or I can, thrive by myself. Like, whatever it is, that's in the outcome, which is great. The Hermit reversed. Now, the Hermit reversed could be there's a need to reflect, introspect. It's the major arcana for Virgo. Or it could be that you're coming out of hermit mode. Okay, so that's in the outcome. Why have they got the Nine of Wands reversed? Why have they got the Five of Cups and the Tower reversed? Let's find out. That's mad how well that resonated for you, Jojo. That's insane. Dream world. Living in a fantasy land, illusions, not real love. That's what they've got for them, okay? So they could be trying to... yeah, they could have like a sense of delusion, like, the delusional. They're trying to like create a narrative where there's love where there isn't, or like that there's still going to be feelings, that, because after something like what she did to you, there's no way that you would forgive that, not at all. So they are like delusional. If they're thinking of coming back and professing their love, that's crazy. I had someone that, he was a teacher and he was like also like senior leadership, and he was like, I can't come round even though you're like bleeding post-op and you're distressed and crying, because I've got to get my data in. And I'm like, if you're like person, if you're like literally your other half is like seriously unwell and there's medical complications, you drop everything and you tell work and someone else can get your data in. Do you know what I mean? And like, I wasn't a teacher at the time, but even I know that isn't life and death, is it? It's not life and death. It's a deadline that needs to be met for work, but someone else can input that data. And he was a workaholic and he was ignoring his own health. And and that's another story. But to ignore mine as well, no, sorry, you're not able to be there for me in an emotional capacity, a physical capacity. So that was a major red flag. And yeah, relationship can't thrive, and people deserve better than to be treated like that in their. It's not even hour of need. It was like he could have got in the car and been like 20 minutes, and he could have been with me. Do you know what I mean? But he had to get his data in. And I was like, shit scared. So it's like a similar situation. Someone else also treated me really badly. Left me in a hotel by myself in the middle of nowhere during the night. Had no like regard for my safety. You know, absolute jerk. Blocked me so I couldn't express like how that made me feel when I realised that he'd done that, and then tried to come back and like wanted me to just like start dating him again. And it's like, are you out of your tiny mind? Like, I don't understand how people think that they're coming back from particular actions. How do you think you're coming back from that? It literally changes how you feel about them, you know. And he was wording it like, well, we've got a really good thing, like, don't let something like that come between us. And it's like, had a really good thing and you came between us. Actually, stuff didn't come between us. Like, it wasn't outside circumstances, was it? It was you. So they don't like to take responsibility. So that's the biggest red flag of all. I think some people are just like, they don't want to take responsibility, they don't take accountability. And even though he said, you've only ever been good to me, well, that makes it's good to acknowledge that in a way, but then it's like, well, if I've only ever been good to you and you know that, and you did something really out of order, that means it's going to happen again. Because you can't tell me like why you did do it. You just know that I didn't deserve it, so that means it's going to happen again, isn't it? Solo refuge. In solitude's embrace, singles find the strength to regroup and rediscover their path. Wow. It doesn't matter how good looking a person is or like what it is that they've got about them, if they're really good and bad or any of these, like, you know, things that tempt us. It's how you make a person feel, and if you make a person feel like that, you've lost them forever. Like, it does not matter what you look like, lovely. Like, there's loads of people that are pretty, there's loads of people that are handsome, and there's loads of people that do it with grace. They don't need to be a disgrace. Do you know what I mean? Ooh, doing drugs. They could be. It doesn't mean that they're like having illegal substances. They could be, but they could just be overdoing it, you know, like spiraling, drinking a bit too much. Partying, trying to, you know, forget, but it never helps you forget, does it? You sober up and then you're hungover and break as well. And it's just not a good idea. If love had a weight, would you still carry it? If you ask, I'll stay. That's the unspoken truth. Do you feel like that bit is like Like, love is scary, like, it's really heavy because if you lose love, it fucking hurts. It really fucking hurts. And if someone that loves you hurts you, oh my God, you can go from feeling like you haven't got a care in the world to the most miserable soul, like grace in the planet. When you like fall in love with someone and you realize they don't love you back, that hurts. When something bad happens to someone, because of illness and they're taken away from you, that fucking hurts. Like, love is a bitch as well as like being beautiful. It's hard as well as like light. It's heavy as well as light. So, but you have to apply it to your own situation accordingly, because we've given examples of what is unacceptable heaviness, where that person's caused heaviness where it needn't have been. It needn't look like this. Do you know what I mean? Love shouldn't be like this. Things should naturally flow, and it should be light, 99% of the time. You have a couple of things to, agree on, just in a practical sense, but most of the time it just flows. If it's like at the point where it's half and half, or it's just constantly confusing, or they constantly need forgiveness, or they're trying not to take accountability for things and they're just saying don't let external stuff come between us, where like actually they did. They're that rock. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit manipulative, that. I don't like it. I would never do what is being done to me. I would never do that. I would never, no. If we'd had an argument and the person was aware and was awake and I left, that's different. But to leave someone thinking everything's fine and then just leave in the middle of the night is disgusting behaviour, and to block them so they can't even express, like, to have the audacity to then come back and try to, that is the biggest like mind fuck of like them all, to just try to like be like, oh well, it's been a few months so she'll have forgotten. What IQ do you think other people have? I don't get it. I really don't. Like, wow. Attached to my ex. I'm attached to my ex emotionally, physically, and or spiritually. I need time and space to break this connection. Ooh, so they could have not been over someone when they met you, and that's why they didn't go all in. That can happen if the person has passed away and you struggle to, unpack that and process through that. If you're still grieving and someone wants a relationship, you can obviously like sabotage it because it's just not the right time. I've had that happen. Or the person's become very unwell and you're basically like their carer, and then someone wants a relationship with you. Actually, really, like, under different circumstances, you could see it working really well, but there's just no way, like, that you're in that mind frame of like, oh, you haven't got the capacity. I got out with someone with PTSD from being in the army, and he just didn't have the capacity to like function normally. And I was like, well, why did you come towards me then? But then I guess like everyone wants to try to feel normal, don't they? So that's what he did. But certain circumstances are not going to allow something to thrive. If they're a person that has had trauma when they're younger, like maybe their response to stuff isn't right, or they've just recently, been broken up with or something, but Why are they still attached to their ex? I mean, only they know why. For example, my most serious relationship that I've had, I'll always be attached to them until I experience something that outgrows it, something that lasts the same amount of time, that has the same intensity. I may never find that again, do you know what I mean? And that scares me that I may not find someone that matches me that well or that treats me that well again. And it may cause me to sabotage things that come along that are newer, especially if they were to move too quickly or I just was comparing them in some way. Like, not making excuses for this person, but it looks like when they met you, they weren't over someone else. But the intention is to release them. The intention is not to deal with them still in any way. But well, actually, it says emotionally, physically, and spiritually, so they could be dealing with them still. You know, like when someone's in love and they continue to be physical with the other person, but the other person's not in love with them. That's bad. Somehow, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, one, two of those things, all of those things, they're somehow not over their ex. Okay, that's the reason for what they did. Why is everything so heavy today? Oh my god. It's a pathetic fallacy because we've got the gale force winds outside. Everything's swirling around, like internally, externally. It's all going on. Oh my god. Jojo, like, are you blown away by like what's come out here? Because we had the drugs card, didn't we? And then attached to the ex. Oh my god, it's mad. Unbreakable. Oh my god, look at this. Unbreakable love. This person has genuine love for you. You can overcome any issues that may arise. Twin flame. You've got a twin flame. This person is your mirror soul. This is why this connection feels so sacred to you. That's why you can't move on from it. There must have been some parts of this that were really good. Because twin flames are like magnets, like you can't keep away from each other. But then there's a lot of drama because when you're together, it's like emotionally loaded passion, and then there's a lot of drama and there's long periods where you're apart. Like my twin flames just returned after a year and a half of no contact, and then a year and a half before that of like off and on drama, like non-stop drama. And I mean, when we like, there would be like gaps of like a week, then there would be like 2 weeks, and there'd be like months. But I knew that they were in love with me. Like I wouldn't put up with that from just like a go-to person or like someone I'm just sleeping with. Like I knew they were in love with me. But it was like very, with twin flames, you're supposed to stop being runner chaser. Okay, whoever's running stops running and they turn around and go, "Where you gone?" And then they start chasing. and you stop chasing, you know, and you turn around and you're like, what have I been doing? And you walk away, and so it triggers healing in one another. And that sounds really simple, but it's not. It's in the longest period, like years apart, that you both go through an ascension. So my ascension was to become more financially independent, to focus less on relationships, to build my career, to broaden, you know, my confidence, like generally, theirs was to heal spiritually, emotionally, and focus less on work, less on finances, less on status and ego, and more being authentic about where the feelings are now, why they run away. It was a lot of emotional and spiritual work, and a lot has been done in the year and a half apart. I got to the point where I just thought, we're never going to come back together. But that's what's supposed to happen in a twin flame thing, because we do the most growth when we're going through challenges. Okay, if everything was fine and dandy all the time, or we were just running around falling in love with people and never really reflecting on it, or never triggering healing in each other, we would just be the same person we were at the start. And life isn't about that. It's you constantly change and grow. You constantly change and grow. That's what this is all about, this crazy ride. But twin flames are the most important, more than marriage, more than like babies and, you know, your textbook white picket fence. Anyone can do that, and that makes it sound like nothing, but they are soul connections. They are important connections, but they're quite day to day. A twin flame is the most profound connection, because nothing is going to make you go through such an ascension like that. Nothing's going to feel as crazy as that. Nothing's going to be as passionate as that. It's going to feel toxic at times. It's going to feel chaotic at times, but it's going to bring out, you're going to unlock a new level of ascension, and it will be over different areas of life. You won't be necessarily ascending in the same, you know, like I said, my area was financially and becoming more independent, and theirs was emotional and spiritual. I've got like mother wounds and shit like that. So you know, their finances are like perfect. They could have stayed exactly where they were, you know. We've all got spiritual homework to do. So really, being someone's twin flame, although it's fucking uncomfortable, and you certainly pay a heavy price for the passionate times, brief passionate times, the learning and the how much you evolve, the evolution that you cause in that other person, the evolution that they cause in you is, it's unquantifiable, honestly. It's infinitesimal. It's like makes everything else pale into insignificance. That doesn't mean you feel like that about at the moment, because it depends where you are in your twin flame journey. If it's early on and you're in the chaos, or you've entered into a period where you've been in no contact, but it hasn't got to the point where, I don't know, you know where you're at in it, don't you? But that's very significant, that card. Hi, Donna. I'm just looking back because I know there was someone else that I meant to say hi to. Ruin. Sorry. Or Ruin. It's a nice name. Where's everyone watching from today? Okay, so we've got the Leo Major Arcana, the Strength. There's a need to be emotionally strong. Another 8. I want you. I'm trying to think 8 of what? Because Eight of Wands is fast action, progress, fast communication. Can't be Eight of Cups because that's negative. Eight of Swords is mental entrapment, feeling stuck. What am I missing? Eight of Pentacles is growth and expansion. I want you. You are wrong. You are wrong. You matter. They made you feel like you don't matter, but it's because they're attached to their ex. You're wrong, I want you. Unbreakable love. Oh my god. God, it's absolute tea coming out today. I don't know if I can handle another reading. I need to lie down. Oh my god. I need to lie down after like doing these, honestly. I wonder what's going to come out for Cancer. It's not being very light, has it? Wait. Oh my god. It's absolute tea getting served up. What have I just been saying? Transformation. Transformation is brewing. Embrace change and harness its magic. Okay, we're 100% getting a timing on this. There's not a chance I'm leaving that without a timing. When is there going to be a significant change here? More patience is required. So you've got wait and patience. Transformation is happening. I'm sure you had April on your last, maybe not last reading, but one before. April next year, something significant's going to happen. It's much of a muchness, really, because it depends on what spiritual work they do and how quickly they ascend. You can't control the pace at which another person heals. My person made practical changes in their behaviours, their circumstances, their lifestyle, everything after I did. It was a difference of like 6 months, but the changes they made are like the ones that you'd want. Do you know what I mean? Like if there's one thing they could have done, they did it. And so I was just happy for them, really, because I don't want them to be suffering anymore. I don't want them to be in distress anymore. I don't want them to be having drama anymore. I can see the toll that it's taking physically, and I'm worried if they carry on that path, what the outcome for them will be. Whether they come back to me or not, that's unconditional love. Okay, so even if someone is bringing us some chaos, even if things are confusing, you can still have unconditional love for them and think, well, I'm going my way and I'm going to look after myself because that's what I need to do. I'm not in control here. This is bigger than me. And I just know for me and God, this is what I need to focus on, these things. Surrender all that. And then, you know, it could be a year or 2 years or whatever number of years before they... Because where there's trauma or something intense that they need to face, it's going to make them feel emotionally overwhelmed, isn't it? So people choose to run from it or they choose to face it. And sometimes things catch up with them so much that it culminates in a big tower. Well, didn't we have a tower that was like, yeah, that tower's going to fall eventually. You can't stop it. You cannot stop it. That's going to fall at some point, and that's what happened with my person. Because they tried to keep all the plates spinning, and then it was like, boom, you know? But it kind of like prompted change that... Or would you describe something like tremors before an earthquake, and the tremors get stronger and stronger and stronger until, you know, the lid blows off the volcano, all the pressure's released, you know, and it's mayhem and it's destruction. But afterwards there's recovery, you know. Afterwards things are rebuilt, the structures are put back in place, and maybe they're more modern and stronger, and, you know, it's like very, that sense of renewal, and you cannot hold it in. Like, that tower's gonna fall. I've done them, done them, done them. New adventures. Today I open myself up to new adventures. I go out and do something I've been holding back from. I move through the fear rather than let it control me. I trust my intuition and follow my desires. Water my dreams. All I desire is on its way to me, but like a seed, my dreams too must be watered. My belief and determination is what makes them grow. I'll be patient throughout this journey. It is all unfolding at the perfect time. Expansive. Every day I'm learning new things and expanding into my highest potential. It's not time lost. If you think, oh, you know, like, what a waste, like, I've got all these feelings for this person, it was on, it was off, it was on, it was off, I think I've lost them. Like, it can feel like a loss, can't it? But it's not. That time that you get to focus on you now isn't time lost. That's time well spent. You know, that's investment, that's enjoyment, that's strength, it's courage, it's all like good things coming out of that. Whether you're focusing time, money and energy on the people that you love and care about that show up for you, whether you're investing time, money and energy into hobbies that you've always wanted to like embark upon, travel that you've always wanted to do, that's things gained, that's not lost. Focusing on your health, that's things gained, that's not things lost. Okay, so you gotta reframe it. People being released to go and process through stuff that's difficult for them, that's time gained, that's not time lost. Time lost is when we deny that we've got anything wrong, that we're trying to keep all the plates spinning, keep posting perfect family photos that everything's fine, keep smiling at work saying everything's fine. That's time lost, that's not time gained. Okay, so when you drop the mask or the tower falls or all of these things, it's time gained, it's no more time lost. Okay. A good fortune card. A magical moment will change everything. Be ready. Oh my god. So something's coming. Something really... That tower's gonna fall. And it's gonna change everything. It's gonna change everything for you guys. Seven, 7, 7. Good luck. That's your angel number. Contentment, prosperity, abundance, spiritual awakening, divine intervention. You had divine timing, didn't you, and divine intervention. Spiritual awakening. Contentment, prosperity, abundance. This message is most likely to reach you during intense uncertainty. You'll come out winning from everything that may come your way. It's also a sign that you have much life experience and wisdom to share, yet you'll need enthusiasm and effort to get this message to others. Wow. I'm blown away by the readings today. That's very cool. We like that. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it was worth the wait. Please like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel, hype the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. What time is it? Because I've got pottery tonight. 4 o'clock, we're fine. I need to leave at 5:30. Ooh. You got a wiggle in your wobble. Oh my god. Right, Cancers. Better be. Well, it's going to be what it's going to be, isn't it? But it's been blooming intense so far. My god. I mean, we had our last full moon of the summer, didn't we? So I shouldn't be surprised, really. I mean, fall is a time of change. It is a time of renewal. Old things, you know, the leaves are falling down and the buds are already starting for next year. So I like this time of year. I really like it. It's a time of reward. Oh, thanks, Mojo. Jojo. You know what I mean. It's gonna be Mojo now. Thanks for joining us. Glad you got to see the live. I'm glad it resonates. Cancer, okay. I hope, I think we're doing oxides this week in my pottery course. So I think it's a bit of learning, and then hopefully I'm glazing the pots that I've been making. Because I tell you what, it's not that I'm struggling to sleep, I just haven't been going to sleep. Like, I've been burning the candle at both ends, been getting up to all sorts. It was due. But I'm on my arse, so there's going to be some wobbly arse pots if I'm meant to be throwing anything today. Usually I'm right in there, but I'm very drained.